What's going on, people? Welcome back to Nick J. Francis' channel once again, and we are back. Arsenal just slapped Crystal Palace 4-1. I'm back from Dubai, back to the Premier League, back to winning ways. Do you know what I'm saying? Whenever we drop points, we bounce back. Obviously, we got knocked out. We got knocked out by Sporting when I was out in Dubai. Now I'm back. Arsenal's back as well, and what a comeback. We always have this bounce back. This is, again, we're talking about the mark of champions. Man are always bouncing back, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm absolutely shattered. I've been traveling, so I'm going to keep this one nice and short because, like I said, my head is Splitsville, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to get to sleep. It's been a myth. Do you know what I mean? But while I was on the plane, 35,000 feet in the sky, man was watching Arsenal slap these, man. I could see it coming from a mile away, from 35,000 miles away. I could see this happening. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, man always tell me South London's got shooters, and they must have shooters, bruv, because there is none on the pitch. They must still be on the block. Do you know what I mean? Because they offered nothing. Like, I don't know who Crystal Palace think they are, sacking Patrick Viera. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. With clubs like Crystal Palace, they're 12th, they're drawing a lot of games, but they're not losing games, or they weren't losing many games when he was there. They weren't getting slapped 4-1 when he was there. City ground out a 1-0 win against them when he was there. I don't really understand quite what the expectation is for a club like Crystal Palace. What are you vexed about? What's your target? Do you know what I'm saying? What are you actually trying to achieve? Do you know what I'm saying? But I get it. It's too tight around the mid-table, but at the top, that's what we really care about. Do you know what I'm saying? Arsenal's now 8 points clear. Manchester City have to play Liverpool still. There's a couple of tough games for them to play, but we are 8 points clear, and they have a game in hand on us, obviously, but let's see what they can do. You know, we're doing our job. Do you know what I mean? Every week we have to go out there, put pressure on them, try and win our game as comprehensively as possible, and that's the main thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And a big shout out to Rob Holding, because at the end of the day, we all know Saliba's the main guy. He's like, you know, he's the up and coming centre back. He's so calm on the ball. He's so good. We all prefer him, or have preferred him, over Rob Holding. And Rob Holding come in today and done an absolute job. Like, he was class. Bro, when I'm seeing Rob Holding hitting 30-yard, 40-yard pings out to Martinelli out wide, like, I've never seen this stuff before. Like, I swear down, it's like a new hair, new him, new hair, who this? Do you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of vibe that Rob Holding was coming on today. It was crazy. Great tackling, timing of his tackles. Obviously, he's still not the most composed on the ball, but that's not his game. But you can see how much Arteta and having these other better players around him has improved him. Do you know what I'm saying? We started with Trossard up top because obviously Gabby Jesus still just coming back from that injury. We don't want to get him injured again. And in the end, Saka gets 2 goals, I think it was. He got 2 goals and an assist, so he's got to be man of the match. And the other goals came from Granit Xhaka, who we all love to see. You know what I'm saying? What a redemption arc for him. And then Gabby Martinelli as well. And so many people have been questioning Gabby Martinelli, and when he gets his chances, he's taking them. And that's what he needs to add to his game on a consistent basis. He always runs, he always fights, he always has lots of energy, but he doesn't always have end product. He has good days and bad days with regards to end product, but he done his thing today. And Saka as well, you know, he's been dropping off just in terms of, you know, running at his man and beating someone one-on-one, getting beyond him, dropping the shoulder. He's been playing quite passively a little bit and maybe needed to be rotated. He's had a little bit of rotation now. He's come back. Same as Martinelli, they've been rotated out, they've come back, and he just looks back to being on fire again. I know Crystal Palace aren't the best team in the world to compare him to and to compare yourself to if you're an Arsenal fan, but at the end of the day, you got to beat who's in front of you. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's another cup final banked. You know, we talk about it, 10 games left of the season. Everyone's kind of coming back to fitness. When we made the subs, everyone still looked good. Gabby Jesus looks really sharp. You know, he should have probably got himself a goal. Jorginho is just so much fun to watch play football at the moment, the way he's stroking the ball about. And Thomas Partey today was immense, absolutely immense. The things that he does will always go underrated, because in his position, the better you play, the less you'll notice him. So you might not even really notice that he's there, but he knows how to control that midfield, and he does that role on his own. Like, we've seen Kante control midfields and be that DM position for a long time. He was the best at that, but he always played with a partner, and he wasn't the best going forward, Kante. Like, you know, Thomas Partey is such a well-rounded player. You know, I don't really see that many players. You know, obviously the top 3 that you're going to talk about is him, Casemiro, Rodri. I don't see anybody else in the league that's at that sort of level. Do you know what I mean? And Crystal Palace today, just relying on Wilf as always, and Wilf's getting older. Do you know what I mean? There's talk of him leaving in the end at the end of the season. You know, there's talk of him losing a little bit of a yard of pace. They need to really upgrade, and it goes back to what I was saying about Viera, if you guys aren't getting good players in, what do you expect? Do you know what I mean? Like, they went and got Lokonga on loan from us, who couldn't even play today. And Lokonga, to us, he's not a great player. You know, if they really want to be making waves towards Europe, Lokonga probably isn't the type of player that they need. So I'm really confused by them. But listen, let's just roll on to the next one. Let's roll on to the next game, because when we're playing in this sort of form, I feel confident against anybody. Do you know what I mean? It took us a little while to heat up. If teams are going to get at us, they have to do what Bournemouth did and get at us really early. While we're still a little bit cold, that's when we can be got at. Do you know what I mean? But once we start getting warm and the passes are flowing around, like, you just feel so confident that a goal is going to come at some point. And clearly the players feel that way as well, because when we started off, you know, we were a little bit, you know, stuck in the mud. We weren't really dynamic enough for me. You know, they were breaking on us and stuff like that. But once we started winning our individual battles, after like the 25th minute or something like that, we started to get warm. Passes were, you know, flicks and tricks were coming into the game. And then all of a sudden, once that first goal goes in, it's a wrap. Do you know what I mean? And it really is. You know, they got a consolation goal at the end, which was a little bit poor. You know, of course it was a poor one to give away, because it was a needless corner to give away. But we gave that corner away like, these men are dead and they're not going to score, and who cares if they score anyway? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're not looking for goal difference by the end of the season. Like, we're looking to win it on points at the end of the season. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we should be beating like I said, I'm still a bit tentative of City. Man have been bantering me because obviously I said I only really am worried about City, and obviously we drew to Sporting, but that's not with our full starting 11. With our full starting 11, I'm still a little bit concerned about the mental side against City, especially with Rob Holding coming in for Saliba. But apart from that, everyone else in the league we should beat. And I'm confident that even if they come out and play quite well on the day, that's our opposition team, even if the opposition plays well on the day, I'm still confident that the players on the pitch have a high enough IQ to figure out a solution. And that's the difference. When you've got players like Trossard and Gabby Jesus, these guys are pure football players. Like, they might not have any outstanding attribute like Haaland's goal scoring or Messi's dribbling. They haven't got something that's like that, like world-class 10 out of 10, but they're solid 7s, 8s or 9s across the board in every department. Watching Martinelli play, who's been electric, and for the last couple of seasons he's been really exciting, and then watching Trossard play is so night and day, because he's so mature. He doesn't really make that many mistakes. He's a very sensible football player. Gabby Jesus as well, although he has a little bit of that Brazilian flair to it, but those two together, you know, they bring a real maturity to that front three department. And then obviously you've got Saka, who's Mr. Consistent, and Martinelli, who can just go out there and just express himself, basically. And that's all it is. That's all we need to do. We have enough to outscore our opponents. I think we'll concede goals because we have Holding coming in for Saliba. Kivior doesn't look quite ready to be starting league games against big opposition. He'll come along in the summer. And I'm sure Mikel will work with him, and I'm still really excited about him. But just at the moment, Gabriel's got to start. And obviously we've got injury to Tomiyasu. Ben White's going to have to start. So I think there's chances we may concede goals just because we don't have legs to rotate in those areas. But I'm just confident we'll outscore people. If they score 2, we'll score 3. Just like the Bournemouth game again. I know that was only Bournemouth, but I'm so confident with the way that we're playing football right now. And we had to make this mean something. Do you know what I mean? Because this is our opportunity to keep pushing this gap as far as possible, so that when we play City, it can be not a free hit, because obviously we're going to go and play City and play for the win. But if we can get out of the Etihad with a draw and we stay 7 points ahead of them, then we're calm. Do you know what I mean? We've got 10 games left, and I think that we should be winning the league. From this position here, we should be winning the league and that's not just with looking at the numbers, because when people will say they've been saying this from a month ago, but they were just looking at the table. This isn't just about the table. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at the table and the form of the different players. City have Haaland, who's on scary form, but we've got so many players that can score goals. The thing I've been looking for a while, for the last few weeks, is more goals from our midfield. Obviously, Xhaka got a goal today. We need Ødegaard, Partey, Jorginho as well. That midfield department needs to chip in with a little bit more goals, because Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus, I'm always confident that they have goals in them, always. Ødegaard, a little bit less so, and then you've got Xhaka and Partey as well. Once that midfield department starts chipping in with goals as well, doesn't have to be consistent goals, but every so often, will be a real problem for any team in the league. Do you know what I'm saying? And like I say, we'll just find a way. We will find a solution. It's happened with Bournemouth. It's happened with Aston Villa. And you know, if we're not in that position to have to find a way to win, we're going out like today and we're just smoking teams 4-1. Do you know what I mean? That should have been a 5-0, to be honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Even our last league game, it was a close game. We should be smoking these teams. Do you know what I mean? So even like today, I would give our performance an 8 and we won 4-1. Like, honestly, this could have been a 7-0 easy. Do you know what I'm saying? We could have Man United these, man. That's just what it is. So I'm super confident. From this position, we should be winning the league. And that's all I got time for, because like I say, I am shattered, bro. I don't even know how I look on camera. I'm just mash up. Do you know what I'm saying? I was out last night and it's all a mess. So let me get some sleep, get out of my face, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? There'll be much more when you come back next week. One love. Peace.